This was Kant's killer line. Existence is not a real predicate. Okay, so what on earth does that even mean? Well, a predicate is just a property or a quality of something. Think the car is red, or the cat is fluffy. Kant was arguing that saying something exists doesn't actually add a new quality to its description at all.
Let's imagine a tiger. You can list its properties, right? It's got stripes, it's got fangs, it's ferocious. Those are all predicates. But now if you say the tiger exists, have you actually added a new feature to the tiger? Nope. You're just saying that a creature with all those features is actually walking around out there in the world. So Kant says existence can't be a property that makes a being greater, and boom, that just blows a huge hole in Anselm's first argument.
And, for a long time, that was pretty much that. The ontological argument was seen as this cool but ultimately flawed piece of philosophical history. But then, in the 20th century, a philosopher named Norman Malcolm went back and took a closer look at Anselm's second argument, and he found what he thought was a really clever loophole around Kant's big objection.
Malcolm's move here was just brilliant. He basically said, okay, Kant, I'll give it to you. You're totally right. Regular, everyday existence isn't a property. But you completely miss the boat when it comes to necessary existence. Malcolm's big idea was that these two concepts are logically different, and Kant's objection only works on the first one.
And this distinction is everything. See, a tiger's existence is contingent. It depends on a bunch of other things. Its parents meeting, there being an ecosystem to support it, and so on. But something that exists necessarily, like the fact that a triangle has three sides, well, it just couldn't be any other way. Malcolm argues that this kind of existence, necessary existence, is a real property. It tells us something fundamental about the very nature of the thing itself.
So with that in mind, Malcolm starts with a new definition. He defines God as an unlimited being. Now, what does that mean? It means this being can't depend on anything else for its existence. It can't be brought into being, it can't be wiped out, it has to be completely self-sufficient. This is the starting block for his entire logical proof.
All right, let's walk through this step by step. First, let's go down the top path on the slide. If an unlimited being exists, it can't be created or destroyed, right? That means its existence has to be necessary. Now, let's look at the bottom path. If that same being doesn't exist, well, it can't just pop into existence out of nowhere either. That leads us to the opposite conclusion. Its existence must be impossible.
And this is the first big aha moment. Malcolm's logic has completely gotten rid of the middle ground. The idea of God as a contingent being, something that just might or might not exist, like a tiger or a planet, that option has been logically wiped off the table. It is all or nothing.
And here it is. Malcolm says, look, something is only logically impossible if it's a flat-out contradiction in terms, like a square circle or a four-sided triangle. He then makes his key claim. The idea of an unlimited being is not a self-contradiction. And if we accept that premise, then God's existence cannot be impossible. And since we already proved that the only options left are impossible or necessary, well, only one remains. The conclusion? God must exist necessarily.
But, and it's a big but, even Malcolm himself admitted that this entire massive logical structure rests on one single, very debatable point.
And this is it. This is the potential weak link in the chain. Is the very idea of an unlimited being truly a coherent concept? And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. What Malcolm's argument seems to show is that if the concept of an unlimited being is logically possible, then that being must exist. The entire 1,000-year-long debate, it all seems to boil down to this one question, and that right there is where the logic ends and a whole new philosophical debate begins.